Now on WRDE Coast TV.
Riding a bike and doing other everyday activities is hard during a heat wave. How people tried to switch up their routines to stay cool.
We're live here at the Indian River Inlet, and as we go over the numbers, it looks like oppressive heat and humidity is making a comeback for what I typically would call the second round of summer.
This stretch of road on Route 1 is going to be closed tonight. The delays drivers can expect during the road work.
The first positive case of a new COVID variant in Delaware, what doctors are saying today.
From the beaches to the bays, coverage you can count on. WRDE Coast TV News at 6 starts right now.
As we take a live look right now into Ocean City from our Hershey's Exteriors 45th Street Tap House camera, a very hot day. Good evening. I'm Madeline Overturf.
And I'm Charlie Sakaitis. Welcome to our News at 6. We begin tonight with a late summer heat wave that is just sizzling the coast.
Great word for it, sizzling. It's potentially record-breaking heat that will be smothering Delmarva through the end of the week. This late summer heat wave definitely affecting how people go through their lives and their work. Coast TV's Alex Seymour spoke with the people at the Rehoboth Beach Farmers Market to find out how are they beating this heat.
A late summer heat wave is impacting Delmarva right as the summer season winds down in Rehoboth Beach and across Delmarva. This late summer heat is causing people, farmers, and businesses to have to switch up their routines.
The heat's hard on our labor, so we try and keep it done in the cooler part of the morning.
The heat isn't just hard on the workers. At Spectrum Farms, a local flower farm, they're concerned with the heat stunting the flowers' growth.
We definitely noticed some of the blooms haven't been as prolific, so they've kind of seemed to have slowed down. So definitely try and get that water on the flowers.
People are even changing simple daily tasks to help keep their pets cool during this intense heat.
He gets more dog ice cream and a lot of water.
The heat isn't all bad news, though. Tammy Anderson of Zazzer's Homemade Ice Cream and Sorbet is excited for this extension of the summer season.
The hotter the day, the better the ice cream sale.
With temperatures expected to remain in the mid to upper 90s through the end of the week, people will continue to have to find ways to beat the heat, maybe even including grabbing a quick drink of lemonade. I'm meteorologist Alex Seymour in Rehoboth Beach, Coast TV News.
Thank you, Alex. And now we move on to our first alert, Chief Meteorologist Paul Williams, showing us how long this second summer, per se, is going to continue on the coast. Good evening, Paul.
We're live here at the Indian River Inlet, and to be honest, the sun and the heat has become a serious matter for us, actually. We've been going over the numbers, and it looks like this, combined with the concern for air quality, has become a serious concern, at least for the next 2 to 3 days. Here, let me show you exactly what I'm talking about. I want to jump straight to the temperature trend that we're expecting over the next 2 to 3 days. Wednesday, we're looking for a high of 96 degrees. Thursday, high of 98. Friday, high of 93. And we're not even talking about today, where we're actually tied a record high in some areas, as well as tomorrow reaching into the 90s. As we switch gears here and take a look, the Indian River Inlet right now, we're holding at 83 degrees. The heat index at 89 with an abundance of sunshine that's making it feel even a little more oppressive. Now you'll notice with these temperatures right now, we're at 90 throughout the inland areas and 80s along the shore. But take a look at these heat and the heat index actually. As we switch gears here, you'll notice, what does it feel like right now? Well, it feels like 101 in some areas. It feels like 100 in Redding right now, but it feels like 97 in Millsboro. So the heat is cranking up. Then when you combine that with our concern with the air quality, and we're still under an air quality alert that's in effect for all of Sussex, and also Newcastle and Kent, that combination of heat with the lack of mixing that's happening in the atmosphere, that's going to make things even more oppressive in some areas. So we need for you to be sure to take all of your heat and breathing precautions, because we're under an orange alert, which means you have chronic breathing problems. You need to stay in during the peak hours of the afternoon. Back to you.
Thank you, Paul. And given everything he just told us, here are some tips from the Delaware Division of Public Health to stay chill and safe during the heat. You're going to want to avoid direct sunlight and find a well-ventilated, air-conditioned place to stay cool. The agency advises to keep yourself hydrated, limit your outdoor activities, and to check on older adults and make sure that they are safe from the heat. Which brings us to our Coast TV poll. We want to know, Do you like these 90-degree September days? Let's take a look at what has been pretty even so far.
So far, it's changed a little bit to now more beach time than too hot, but this is so close. It's a real 50-50 here.
Well, I think it's the two best seasons. You know, fall can be great, summer can be great, so there's a lot of push and pull here. If you haven't got your vote in yet, we want to hear from you. Go to WRDE.com or use our Coast TV mobile app, and we're going to show you those updated results at 11.
Well, the first positive case of a new COVID-19 variant has been detected in Delaware. The Public Health Laboratory says it's identified the first case of the BA.286 variant in the state. We got new information this afternoon. It was from a Pennsylvania resident at a Delaware hospital there. Now, the department reminding people follow appropriate strategies to keep COVID in check, like getting vaccinated, wearing a mask as cases on the rise. That's what they say, and the new vaccine designed to protect against this variant is pending final approvals.
Construction work is going to start tonight on Route 1 near the Rehoboth Mall. The work includes an extension of the U-turn lane. They're also removing one of the two Route 1 left turn lanes that go to the Rehoboth Mall parking lot. Coast TV News reporter Charles Reinert is live near Route 1. DelDOT, Charles, they say that there are going to be delays.
Charlie, here on Route 1, there is some pretty significant roadwork scheduled to begin tonight. And if you take a little walk with me here, I can show you exactly where you can expect to see some delays for the next couple of months. Now, here on Route 1, down at the intersection with Old Landing Road, way on the other end of Rehoboth Mall, and heading northbound towards the intersection with Route 24, that's where you're going to be seeing the most construction happening and the most orange barrels. Now, this roadwork is expected to only happen overnight, and it's all in an effort to make this road and these two intersections safer. And DelDOT says they even held off on doing this construction until after the summer to try and avoid some of that peak travel traffic.
There's never really an ideal time to do construction, but when we're starting to look at these lengthy closures, it's best to do them outside of the traditional summer travel season.
The construction is expected to be finished sometime in late November. I'm Charles Reiner, live on Route 1, Coast TV News.
Thank you, Charles. A truck rolled over this morning in Georgetown on Wood Branch Road, just south of Sussex Pines Road. We have some video from our Coast Copter of the incident to show you. According to Delaware State Police, a Maryland man was driving that box truck on Wood Branch Road. Police say for unknown reasons, he ran off the north side of the roadway, tried to get on the right side, causing the truck to overturn. You see it right there in this footage. DENREC crews were on site cleaning up the area. Some good news, though. Troopers say nobody was hurt during the incident. Despite all of that, the driver, though, was cited for inattentive driving.
Meanwhile, a 35-year-old Delmar man is in the hospital with what appears to be serious injuries after a car crash Tuesday afternoon. That's according to Delaware State Police. Here's a video from the accident that happened on Route 26 and 9-Foot Road. You can see the front windshield and the grille damage on the white truck. Troopers say that the Delmar man wasn't paying full attention to the road and crashed into the back of a Freightliner truck. Police say that the man driving the Freightliner truck was not injured.
While a new school year has begun, there are still teacher vacancies in Delaware. Overall, there are 350 empty teacher positions in the entire state. Michael Saylor with the Department of Education says more public support could encourage more people to go into the field of education.
We need to do a better job in education, celebrating the career for what it is, which is to make a difference in the lives of young people.
The teacher shortage is a nationwide issue, but reports show Delaware has hired more new teachers than any other state. Tonight, we're updating you on a story we've been following for months. Earlier this year,
the Department of Natural Resources and Environmental Control put a hold on a dredging project on White Creek after what they say was a contractor delay. Today, boaters are struggling with the impact of it.
Coast TV News reporter Heidi Kirk shows us why they're putting pressure on DENREC to complete it sooner rather than later.
A look down White Creek. For nearly a year, a dredging project remains stalled here.
A lot of folks won't come up here unless it's high tide.
Owner of Ocean View Marina, Tom Fowler, says business isn't what it should be without the dredging.
There's a lot of boats that use this creek, and it's dangerous. being shallow like this.
Fowler says if dredging doesn't come this year, it'll mean another tough season for the marina and more threats of getting stuck in the muck for boaters.
In a statement, the Department of Natural Resources said they've yet to establish a timeline for dredging, but they're hoping to get it done as soon as possible.
Bill Kroll says dealing with shallow water is part of the price he pays for living just off of White Creek.
We try to look at the tide so that it's at least a rising tide when we go out. The problem is when you come back, if it's a low tide.
Kroll feels DNREC has done a good job here and expects them to return in the fall to finish up as agreed. But Fowler isn't entirely convinced they'll follow through after the initial delay.
I think they just need to finish it, and I hope they do it soon. I know there's rumor they're going on to Indian River, and that's great for those folks, but I think we should be finished before they start another project.
A project months in the making, still no end date in sight. In Ocean View, I'm Heidi Kirk, Coast TV News.
We've got more news still to get to this evening.
Proposed wetland projects coming to the Sussex County area. 4 new additions that could help you enjoy our local waterways.
Well, a late summer heat wave will continue to bake Delmarva through the end of the week. I'll have the details coming up in just a few minutes.
From the air, this land watched closely by people in Lewis. How volunteers aim to preserve that property. We're back in just 60 seconds.
At the Alzheimer's Association Walk to End Alzheimer's, this is why we walk. They're why we walk. We walk in the Alzheimer's Association Walk to End Alzheimer's because we're getting closer to beating this disease. Join us!
Rural communities are on the front lines of a changing climate. Farmers can implement climate-smart practices that improve soil health, nutrient management, and energy efficiency. These practices improve our profitability, resiliency, and help to open new markets.
We know voluntary conservation works and are committed to working with farmers and forest landowners to leverage resources to increase climate resiliency through conservation practices. To learn more about climate-smart practices, scan this QR code to find your local USDA service center.
At the Alzheimer's Association Walk to End Alzheimer's, this is why we walk. They're why we walk. We walk in the Alzheimer's Association Walk to End Alzheimer's because we're getting closer to beating this disease. Join us!
With what seems to be constant development in Lewis, a new opportunity has been presented to protect 89 acres of land.
This in addition to a 30-acre parcel on the land of the 4th Street Preserve. Meteorologist Jeanette Gallardo spoke to members of the Open Space Alliance to learn more on how this property, if preserved, will be used.
Ardnagron, an 89-acre parcel of open land next to the village of 5 Points, is in the process of being preserved by the Open Space Alliance. Their mission now is to raise awareness.
Both public and private funding are crucial. It's about it's 18.3 million we're raising, and it's almost exactly half and half public versus private funding.
All of the recent development has brought concern among community members.
If you look at a map of the city of Lewis and the area outside of the city limits, you can see that other than the Great Salt Marsh, which is protected, Lewis Beach and Cape Henlopen, there's very little green space left.
The Ardnagron parcel will be utilized for what's called passive recreation, such as hiking and biking trails.
And with that passive recreation comes the ability for maybe a little bit of mental relief for people, that they can easily find a place to go and enjoy nature, enjoy some peace.
The Open Space Alliance has been receiving an outpour of support already, and so they are feeling hopeful that both the 4th Street Preserve and the Ardnagron property, which I am standing on right now, are both projects expected to move forward. In Lewis, I'm meteorologist Jeanette Gallardo, Coast TV News.
DNREC is seeking public comments for 5 proposed projects in Sussex County. According to DNREC, officials received applications for docks to be installed in these locations. One is the Hart's Landing community in Love Creek. Another is Arnell Creek in Rehoboth Beach. Keenwick on the bay in Selbyville is also being considered for installation. Another is the Four Seasons at Belterre in Lewis. The agency says it wants comments from the public on those proposed projects by September 20th.
Well, the coast will continue to sizzle under a late summer heat wave through the end of the week. I'll let you know when we can expect a break from the heat coming up just after the break.
When you bank with the Farmers Bank of Willards, something wonderful happens. You make a difference in your own community. The Farmers Bank has remained locally owned and operated for nearly 100 years, and decisions on where to invest profits are still made right here by local people. In just the last 25 years, over $200 million have been reinvested into our local economy to help local families, businesses, schools, towns, and youth programs build and grow and prosper.
Switch to the Farmers Bank of Willards, where people matter.
Get ready for the all-new, redesigned 2024 Subaru Crosstrek. The 2024 Crosstrek is safer than ever for even more peace of mind on every drive. With a Subaru Crosstrek, you can count on plenty of adventures ahead. And when you choose Gateway Subaru, you're supporting local schools through Subaru Loves Learning, which helps kids get the school supplies they need. We're more than just a car company. Love, it's what makes a Subaru a Gateway Subaru. Higher standards.
Fall into comfort and elevate your bathroom experience with the new walk-in shower system with Coastal Bath, the only Bath Planet dealer on Delmarva with the Good Housekeeping Seal 2-year money-back guarantee. Spend less time cleaning and scrubbing and get a maintenance-free shower with modern designs, mold and mildew resistant, and a lifetime warranty. Right now, get a free shower door or $1,500 off plus no payments and no interest for 18 months. Listen to Logan, local and family owned. Call or visit coastalbaths.com today.
Dive into Ocean Downs on September 23rd for the inaugural Turf by the Surf State Cook-Off. Dance to NRW, DSB, and Jack Russell's Great White. $40 ticket includes all shows. Doors open at noon. Join us at Ocean Downs Casino. Visit oceandowns.com for tickets and info.
Delmarva's Classic Rock, Big 107.7.
When it comes to building Delaware, I set my sights high.
When duty calls, I answer. No reservations.
And no compromises. Creating the perfect dish takes expert precision.
I help solve the most complex problems.
And while it may seem like our jobs are all over the map,
they all started at Del Tech.
The Today Show, weekdays at 7 on WRDE.
Well, Delmarva is sweltering under a late summer heat wave across the coast, and we're going to continue to deal with this heat for the next several days. We're starting to see that early evening hike in those temperatures right along the immediate coastline. When those winds die down, we start to see some of that heat work its way onto the beach. So right now, as you take a live look out on our Boardwalk Plaza Hotel camera in Rehoboth Beach, right now it's the hottest it's been all day in Rehoboth Beach. We're sitting at 89 degrees now. The last hour we were sitting at around 86 degrees. We're going to sit close to 90 degrees for the next hour or so before those temperatures start to come down. In locations, we've been in the 90s pretty much all day long. We're currently sitting at 92 at Redden State Forest. It's 90 in Georgetown, 89 degrees in Millsboro, but Bethany Beach and Ocean City, those are the two places to be. Currently sitting at 79 degrees this evening, but even those two locations should see a little bit of an uptick in those temperatures over the next hour or so before we start to cool off as we head into those nighttime hours. Dew points, we're in the low to mid 70s. It is humid out there, and we're going to continue with that humidity for the next several days, which is going to result in some pretty intense heat when it comes to the heat indices. We're talking about it feeling like 96 degrees in Rehoboth Beach right now. It feels like 94 in Selbyville, 97 in Millsboro. Feels like 103 degrees in Greenwood, 95 degrees in Georgetown right now. So make sure you're finding ways to stay cool. As I said, the humidity is going to be sticking around for several days, all the way across for the next 5 days. Those dew points hovering between 65 to 75 degrees, so very muggy out there. That is combining with temps in the 90s for at least the next 3 days. So the heat index climbing up to 102 Wednesday, 102 Thursday, still 99 degrees on Friday. It's not until we get towards Saturday and Sunday that we start to see those heat indices cool off into the upper 80s to low 90s. So still pretty warm for this time of year, but not super hot like what we're going to be dealing with over the next couple of days. So what you need to do to stay cool in this heat, wear that loose, lightweight, light-colored clothing, drink plenty of water, just limit your time outdoors. Try to spend as much time as you can in the AC. If you do have to be outside, wear a hat, wear those sunglasses, and wear sunscreen as much as possible. We are seeing a few clouds filtering into the region right now on our satellite radar picture, mainly just high, thin clouds. It's not going to be too big of a concern. These clouds, surprisingly, associated with, take a look at that, an area of low pressure up near Canada, Atlantic Canada, That's actually the remnant low from Idalia that impacted the area just last week. The next few days, the clouds start to move out of the area, and our beach forecast temps in the low to mid 80s on Aztec Island, and we're going to see up and down our coastline those temps in the mid to upper 80s with plenty of sunshine. Our Paul Davis Restoration and Home Remodeling 7-day forecast shows the beach is going to be the cool spot because inland we're climbing up into the mid to upper 90s Wednesday, Thursday, low to mid 90s Friday, and then cooler this weekend. And now we're going to go to the coast to see how Paul's dealing with that heat.
Thanks, Alex. Right now we're on the shore, but we're at the Indian River Inlet, where this is the connection between the Indian River and the Rehoboth Bay. As you can see, some of the fishermen are out here enjoying things, and we have the tide that's coming in and out for right now. But this is really a great spot because the Delaware Seashore State Park is nearby and offers 6 miles of ocean and 20 of bay shoreline. Has camping, concessions, bathhouses, 2 swimming areas that's actually controlled by lifeguards. It's the only access point to Delaware Inland Bay area. And believe it or not, with all this water, it actually almost dried up and closed in 1911. But it's very pedestrian friendly. You can enjoy typical beach-like activity coming out here. And actually, the life-saving station here was built in 1876, but it's been converted to a bit of a museum. So you can come out here and enjoy and really reminisce on how this has been such a historic place. And it doesn't have quite the crowds around here, and the folks are fishing left and right. But listen, if you're going to come out here, you're going to have to deal with the heat and the humidity. And Petey wanted to kind of demonstrate how you're supposed to deal with that heat and humidity. First of all, remember, drink plenty of water. Just as a reminder, good job, Petey. And then the next thing you want to do, you want to try to get in underneath lots of shade. Try to shield yourself from as much of the sunshine as you can. And then be sure you try to just avoid those peak hours of the day. Good job, Petey. Good job of the day. I'm Chief Meteorologist Paul Williams. Petey, where'd you get that umbrella? I gotta go. Back to you. Petey, I tell you, stop.
I think Petey might have sticky fingers. Earlier he was taking somebody's fishing pole, and now he's stealing some of those coveted umbrellas that Paul guards with his life.
He really does. And if you haven't won one, you can enter it, by the way. We'll just keep it out of Petey's office.
Keep him away from Petey. Yeah, he might take it.
Well, are you an artist or just interested in art? If so, the registration is open for the 2023 Delaware Arts Summit. Organizers say it takes place October 9th. They say for a day for art speakers, workshops, performances, networking. That's what it's all about. Also skill building, as well as expanding contacts and just enjoying the art.
The Delmarva Sports Network from the Wawa Studios.
Well, Team USA had been hearing it over the past 48 hours. Their loss to Lithuania on Sunday was the team's first of the entire tournament, and it set up an elimination game earlier today with Italy to extend the United States' stay in the Philippines. And safe to say, message received by Steve Kerr's group in the Philippines. Third quarter, Paolo Banchero, the thunderous block off the glass. Tyrese Halliburton the other way, and Austin Reeves knocks it down for another triple. The Lakers guard finished with 12. Take another look at Banchero. Big 24 hours for Duke Blue Devils, both at home and abroad. Waning seconds of the third quarter, more Banchero. Great trap with Halliburton. Those two go Globetrotters down the floor for the flush. Banchero had 8 in the game. Halliburton led the way with 5 assists for the Americans. Third game the U.S. has won by over 35 points at this year's FIBA World Cup. The red, white, and blue advance to the semifinals and will either play Dennis Schroeder and Germany or Davis Bertans and the Latvian national team. That quarterfinal matchup is set up early tomorrow morning, and the winner, again, will go on to play the Americans in the semis on Friday. That'll do it for sports. We'll see you all later on tonight.
The American black duck is an iconic species well known throughout the Delmarva Peninsula. Although the population is currently stable, they're well below their population goals and they're considered a species of concern. The USDA Natural Resources Conservation Service looks to increase and restore black duck habitat throughout the Delmarva Peninsula.
I utilize the Working Lands for Wildlife program to help transform a low-lying wet area into waterfowl habitat.
To learn more about the Working Lands for Wildlife program, contact your local USDA Service Center.
Download the DSN app today, driven by Preston Automotive Group.
Don't miss the Hot Tub and Swim Spa Blowout Expo this weekend only at the Delaware State Fairgrounds. Browse over 40 hot tubs, cold therapy tubs, and swim spas from 5 major brands at huge savings. Financing is available and admission is free. That's this weekend at the Delaware State Fairgrounds in Harrington. Visit hottubexpo.com.
Honor, respect, trust your roof to Valor. The 3 pillars of Valor Roofing, instilled in us by our founder, Vietnam veteran Al Kincaid. Purchased with a purpose this month. Your new Valor roof helps us donate a new roof every month to combat veterans in need. Don't get scorched this summer storm season. Stay ahead of the leaks. Save big on your new Valor roof with 50% off all materials and payments as low as $119 per month. Call Valor Roofing today.
833-83-VALOR.
Where's the most convenient place to get that big fitness energy?
It's Planet Fitness.
With free fitness training and equipment for every workout. Join the judgment-free zone today for $1 down, $10 a month, no commitment, cancel anytime. Deal ends Wednesday, September 13th.
Don't miss the Hot Tub and Swim Spa Blowout Expo this weekend only at the Delaware State Fairgrounds. Browse over 40 hot tubs and swim spas from 5 major brands at up to 50% off. Financing is available and admission is free. That's this weekend only at the Delaware State Fairgrounds in Harrington. Visit hottubexpo.com.
Cap off the season with the 4 best days of fall at Sunfest. Experience the ultimate celebration of food, drinks, arts, crafts, and entertainment along the boards from October 19th to the 22nd. Embrace fall with a variety of fun activities, including beach bonfires, corn maze, tractor rides, and pet and bicycle events. Shop around over 200 arts and crafts vendors. Immerse yourself in music with an incredible lineup of free musical performances. Enjoy free family fun all day. Visit oceocean.com/sunfest for more.
WRDE First Alert Weather, brought to you by Ocean City, Maryland.
Well, be sure to take those heat precautions over the next few days. Our Paul Davis Restoration and Home Remodeling 10-day forecast shows highs in the mid to upper 90s. Wednesday and Thursday will be a little bit cooler at the beaches, but still well into the 80s. We stay in the low to mid 90s inland on Friday. Storms arrive and we fall down into the 80s by the weekend.
Thank you, and thanks for joining us here for Coast TV News at 6.
For more news and local weather, download our Coast TV News app.
The NBC Nightly News is up next.
We'll see you later tonight for Coast TV News at 11. Have a great evening.